Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good evening, I'm Madison Pergram. It has been another hot and humid day in the mountains as temperatures once again top 90 degrees. Meteorologist Evan Hatter has the details on how long the heat is going to stick around.
And good evening, Madison. We did see a few stray thunderstorms out there cool us down just a touch, but for most of us it was just a sultry afternoon. Take a look at our camera down at UVA-Y is actually showing that sunny afternoon, bringing in the rain and the showers, cooled it on down, but then we brought the sun back out, and it's really helping boost those temperatures up. The National Weather Service in Jackson, they're sitting at 91 right now here at 6 o'clock, but they still feel like 95, and that is a story throughout the mountains this afternoon and into this evening. 91 Jackson, Prestonsburg. Look at Ashland sitting at 95. You factor in the humidity, feels closer to 100 in Prestonsburg, 101 in Ashland, and even 100 in Monticello, 95 in Jackson and Hazard as well. So we're going to be dealing with the heat and the humidity as we go through not just tonight, but in through much of the beginning of the week. A hot evening continues ahead for us. Daily chances for afternoon showers and storms, and more hot weather on the way as well. I'll have the details on that in just a few minutes. Madison?
Thank you, Evan. Well, Harlan County is reporting new COVID-19 cases this evening. Officials in the county confirmed 4 new cases of COVID-19. Harlan County is now up to 129 total cases of the coronavirus. The patients are a 15-year-old woman, 81-year-old woman, a 79-year-old woman, and a 16-year-old woman. 2 of the 4 patients live in the same house. And for more information on COVID-19 in Eastern Kentucky, go to our website at WYMT.com. And preparations for the school year are underway during our new normal, and tomorrow state school leaders will hold a virtual conference to make plans for the fall. And on Thursday, the Fayette County School District will share its version for the upcoming semester. Grace Feinerman shares what that plan could look like.
Back to school is busy any year, but during this unprecedented time, school officials have even more to think about.
I am committed to finding a way to get us back to in-person instruction, but it has to be safe, responsible, and sensible.
Tyler Murphy, Fayette County Board of Education member, says he knows nothing replaces in-person instruction, but he shares he won't support the return to school unless he's sure it can be done safely.
2 months from now or 3 months from now, sitting down with you, talking about the death of a student or a staff member because we didn't get this right.
Murphy shares schools need support to resume classes, including proper PPE and sanitation supplies. Support, he says, needs to come from the federal level. Right now, there are 3 options for the semester. 1, students attend school with the ability to choose virtual schooling. 2, weekly alternation between school and virtual classes. 3, 2 days a week in school and 3 days virtually. Murphy says there should be a 4th option, classes completely virtual.
Instruction is going to happen. We're going to do what we can to provide services and support for our students and family. We did it in the spring, and because our staff rise to the occasion.
Thursday, the Fayette County School District will share its plans for the upcoming semester. School officials say the #1 concern is safety. In Lexington, Grace Feinerman, WKYT.
Many school districts have already made major decisions, including Jefferson and Bourbon counties, where students will start the year with virtual schooling. And a major announcement many of you have been waiting for, coming from JCPS Superintendent Dr. Marty Polio. The proposal on how students and teachers will resume instruction in the fall is expected to be voted on this week. Wave 3 News reporter Taylor Durden has the details.
This is only a recommendation. The school board still has to vote on an official plan for the upcoming school year. That will happen on Tuesday night. Dr. Marty Polio saying the top priority for the district is the health and safety of all of the students, staff, and teachers. So he is recommending to the school board, which he will present on Tuesday to them, that the school district start the first 6 weeks of the new school year in NTI, that remote learning. He says the district is planning to have a device like Chromebooks and hotspots for every single child throughout the district. After the 6 weeks, JCPS says they will look at data and talk to health officials about if students can return to schools. He says the hope is that students will be able to return to schools at some point during the year.
We are working hard to ensure that every student has access to a device, a Chromebook, and also has internet connectivity. The recommendation includes adjusting the school calendar for online classes to begin August 25th with training for staff prior to that time. When we look at safety and health of our students and staff, the risk is just too great right now to come back for in-person instruction.
They are calling this NTI 2.0. The district says they're building a more robust program that will create new instruction for students. They're also looking at putting together some NTI to-go kits that will have school supplies in them for families. Polio says there will be more information about registration for parents and other things that they should know coming out in the coming weeks. But again, a reminder, this is not an official plan. It's just a recommendation. The school board has to vote on this. That vote, again, will happen on Tuesday night. We'll be sure to keep you updated. In Louisville, Taylor Durden, Wave 3 News.
An organization that helps disenfranchised women and their children gave back to the community today. The Uncounted Yet Chosen ministry handed out clothes, books, and food today at their second annual picnic. The nonprofit invites women on the streets and in clubs to join them for dinner and a Bible study. The founder of the organization says just because times are hard doesn't mean they can't stop helping people.
I'm without a job. I don't have a job right now. And it's a lot of us out here that don't have jobs, but we still manage to come together as a group, a community, and help people who needs to be helped.
Right now, the ministry is looking for volunteers to help in the organization. They said they need leaders, mentors, and people who can help with childcare. And no longer facing felonies, 87 protesters with felony charges had all charges dropped. Many criticized LMPD's decision to charge the protesters on Attorney General Daniel Cameron's lawn with a felony in the first place. Wave 3 News reporter Caitlin Russ has reaction to the decision, including a lawyer for one of the protesters who says politics needs to be removed from the equation.
The county attorney's office said they believe LMPD had probable cause for the charge, but in the name of justice and the free exchange of ideas, they dropped them. They declined to comment any further on their reasoning.
To me, that's how the process works.
When asked whether he thought LMPD or the county attorney was right, here's a chunk of the answer Mayor Greg Fisher gave us.
The police officers are out there doing the best job they possibly can. They're weighing everything that's going on, and then they make a charge. And obviously, Mike O'Connell thought in the interest of free speech, the charges should be dropped.
Carl Price, the attorney for Portia Williams, a reality TV star protesting with the group, disagrees with LMPD's move.
Because I think maybe law enforcement, LMPD at that time, reasoned that the only way we can end this is that we find a reason to arrest everybody.
On many misdemeanors and violations, police write citations without arrests unless the person is a danger to themselves or others. LMPD says the group's "burn it down" chant was threatening.
It is a common chant. That's a chant that after the George Floyd killing, that you heard in a lot of jurisdictions. They were simply talking about the system.
LMPD says the protesters' goal was to escalate, which to them meant violence, like it has at times in the past, taking the chant to the level of criminal intimidation.
When you look very closely at that statue, it's not an implied threat. It has to be a direct threat. None of those protesters had direct contact with the alleged victim, which is Mr. Cameron.
Price says you have to look at the big picture in this case and take politics out of it. He adds these protesters went above and beyond to make it clear they came in peace.
I think now we can see that reasonable minds are turning now, and I think we can all put our heads together and come up with a reasonable resolution.
6 months ago, even a dropped felony charge would still pop up on someone's record. Lawmakers in Frankfort changed that in February, and the county attorney says it will disappear from records after 30 days. Both LMPD and Attorney General Daniel Cameron say they respect the process and the decision. Reporting downtown, Caitlin Rust, Wave 3 News.
Now, COVID-19 has canceled a number of events this summer, but one event in Pikeville still hit the road on Sunday. The 15th annual Hillbilly Christmas in July kicked off this weekend, a motorcycle ride benefiting the Shriners Hospital for Children in Lexington. The ride goes across Pikeville, Lawrence, and Johnson County, just to name a few places, and covering 110 miles with more than 200 bikers. But this year, they were worried about raising as much money as they normally do because of the coronavirus pandemic.
We feel real bad because we haven't made the money that we normally do, and this coming up, it's really hurt us, and it's hurt our hospital. So we have to kind of pray for good weather, and that's looks like we have it today, and we had it yesterday, so we're blessed with that, and hopefully we have a good turnout and maybe make some money today.
WYMT's Camille Gear will have more on the ride coming up at 11. An Appalachian clothing company in Corbin is giving away free masks to help slow the spread of COVID-19. WYMT's Dakota Makris spoke with those behind the idea and has more.
Putting people over profit.
We really wanted to provide as many masks to as many people as possible that need access to one.
An initiative that Josh Kopic and James Schweitzer of Latchin Clothing Company have taken to heart.
We can all agree on that we need to keep each other safe and make each other feel safe instead of spreading fear or the virus or whatever it is.
What started off as a gesture quickly turned into a necessity as COVID-19 cases spike throughout our area.
Honestly, the best thing you can do to love your neighbor is by showing that, right? And by showing that right now in this time is by just covering your face.
The company has already given away 500 masks since Tuesday.
Literally within a couple hours, our traffic grew by over 1,500%.
Despite the workload, Schweitzer knows the importance of safety these masks bring.
I enjoy the fulfillment side because then that's when you can add like a personal touch, which you don't always get to do because of the e-commerce side of it. As you would in a retail store.
As they prepare for the second wave of orders, the mission still remains the same. In Corbin, Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, right now, the company is sold out as they wait for more masks to come in from the supplier. You can keep up with the company and when masks are back in stock on its social media sites, and we'll have a link to those on our website at WYMT.com. Well, coming up on Mountain News Weekend Edition, find out how prominent officials in the United States are reacting to the death of Congressman John Lewis.
And a lucky few of us were cooled down by some showers and storms this afternoon, but more heat and humidity is on the way to start the new week. I'll have the details coming up next.